We'll never agree on this
We will never agree.
What do we argue about the most? I'm always right. The end.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Shanna.
And we're 27 Travels.
And today's video is gonna be us doing the wife tag. I was actually going through our old videos for some reason. I think I was like organizing something on our channel and I saw that we did the girlfriend tag like a few years ago. I'll put it over here on screen. We did it a really long time ago. Like our hair looks totally different and our bedroom looks totally different. And I was like, oh my God, wait, now that we're married, I bet there's like a wife tag. So I Googled it and it does exist. So I put like a bunch of questions from like different wife tag, I guess, posts or whatever. And we're gonna ask each other wife tag questions.
I'm really excited to do this. I feel like this is a really good challenge since we've almost been wives for a year.
Okay, so I have the questions on my phone, so I need to pull them up. Also, I feel like these questions were made for like a husband and a wife because some of them are like super easy and I feel like maybe it's like the wife trying to like see if the husband knows like the little details about their relationship, but I feel like as two women we know all the details. So some of these might be a little easy, but we'll see.
Yeah, basically based off this, if you're a husband, you gotta pay more attention, okay? Because like if your wife doesn't think you know some of these things.
What was your first opinion of me?
First ever opinion of you? I thought you were really cute.
that was the first thing you thought?
Yeah, and then I thought like once I talked to you, I thought like, oh my God, this girl's like so talkative and funny. She's cool to talk to.
I'm trying to think. I feel like my first impression of Gabby was we had a really good conversation, so I feel like we got along really well, I guess. I don't know. What I remember from our first time meeting is like, oh my God, we had such like a good conversation.
yeah, I could see that because I feel like when we talk to each other, the conversation just like flowed. That's like one of the best like conversations I've ever had with someone like right off the bat. Like it just flowed, the energy.
When did you know I was the one? I feel like pretty early on, it's very typical in like lesbian relationships that you just like find the person you like and you like move in and do all this stuff really quickly. We didn't actually do that, but I feel like I knew really early on that like what Gabby and I had was something special, even though I had never really had like an actual relationship with a woman before, or really anyone, I guess, because like yeah, I had like boyfriends in high school. I don't think that really counts, but I don't know, it just felt right. I don't know, maybe like in like the first month or so, I kind of felt like it was like good to go.
Yeah. I feel like I feel the same. Like from the beginning, there was like certain things in like dating people that like wouldn't happen for me. Like, you know, like either like I wouldn't want to kiss them or like I would have a really good date, but they wouldn't text me right away. There was a time where we watched the Super Bowl together, like the first year we were dating, and like Coldplay came on.
That was like a month into us dating probably.
Around the Super Bowl, Coldplay came on, and like as we were watching it, I was like telling Shanna like, oh my God, like I love Coldplay so much. And like she went on her phone and like bought tickets like at the same time for like 6 months in the future. And she was like, oh yeah, I got us tickets to Coldplay so we can go together. And I was like, oh my God, this girl's the real deal. Like she must be serious about me too, because she just got tickets for us to go see Coldplay like in 6 months from now, which means that like she knows that we'll be together 6 months from now. And I remember thinking that was really like sweet and romantic. And for sure by that point, I was like, she's the one.
How many children did either of us want before marriage? Or I guess period, we could say. How many children do we want? I feel like for me, my answer is, I don't know. I'm fine if we have kids and I'm fine if we don't, but I'm not getting pregnant. It's not gonna be me.
To me, I would say unsure / max 2 / don't know if we'd get pregnant or adopt or something else.
But cats. That's a different story.
Max 5 at a time.
What does my best friend think of you? I feel like I have like two best friends. One of my best friends lives in Sweden and my other one is my best friend from home that I've been best friends with forever. And I think both of them love Gabby. I think like my friend from here, Katie, from the beginning was like just loved you like immediately. And I think Cara, we used to do a lot of stuff just me and her, and I think she just had to get used to the idea that like now there's gonna be another person there. But I think like you and Cara are similar in a lot of ways, even if you don't want to admit it to yourself.
No, we get along.
And also you and Katie are similar in a lot of ways. My best friends and my wife are all water signs, so I'm surrounded by water at all times. But I think both of them love you, and I feel like they just consider you like a friend, you know? I think that's the difference about being like a lesbian couple versus like being in a straight relationship is like a lot of my friends who are married to men, they like will have like a girls' night and like their boyfriend won't be there, but like Gabby will be there.
And then sometimes I'm like, should I be here? Like once in a while, like I'll be like, Shanna, like see if other people's boyfriends are coming, because like if the other people's boyfriends are not coming, I think maybe like I should not come.
But they think of her as a friend, so they like want her to come, you know? So I feel like that's really nice. That like
super nice.
Yeah, that she's just like in with the girls.
I feel like I have more than a few best friends, and I feel like they all love Shanna, and if they don't, they're lying to me. So And they've been lying to me for 8 years then. I mean, like, I feel like all of my friends would have told the truth if they didn't like you from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they would have hinted at it or something, and like none of them did, and a lot of them like go out of their way to like hang out with you and have you be part of the friend group, you know? But anyway, I feel like all of my friends, like all of the friends like Shanna from the beginning, and like especially like my friends here in Brooklyn, like have really like become, like Shanna's become part of the friend group, which like I don't know if that's true for every relationship, but like that has been true for our relationship, especially since like in our friend group, like a lot of people aren't in a relationship, they don't have a partner, but like I've been in this relationship with Shanna for the last 8 years, so like she's been around for like a long time in our friendships, so you just like became part of the group.
What is my worst habit?
This is only a bad habit depending on the kind of person that you are, right? Like I think your worst habit is that like sometimes Shanna, in my opinion, she just like will get rid of anything. Like, so for example, like I'll be drinking a coffee and I'll put the coffee on the counter, and in my mind I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come back for that when I like walk through the house like 5 minutes later, and then I get there and my coffee's like poured out in the sink. I'm like, so I guess like Shanna's just very organized, which is a positive thing, but also in certain situations, like a negative thing. Like she'll be like, oh, I don't like the sweater anymore. I don't need it. I'm getting rid of it. Meanwhile, it's like the middle of the winter, and then 2 days later, she's like, I really need a sweater. I'm like, you just threw your sweater out. I don't understand it.
That's true. I think Gabby's worst habit is what we've discovered recently is that she doesn't check her work. Okay? So, you know, like when you're in school and you like do a test and the teacher's like, don't hand your test in right away, make sure you check your work before you hand it in. That's Gabby, but like as an adult. Like, she'll like just like send an email and then be like, boop, okay, great, I did it. And then like I'll go back and realize like she put the person's email in wrong, or like she spelled something wrong or whatever. So I think Gabby is like the kind of person who likes to like have things be done and be like, oh my God, great, I did it. But like doesn't necessarily do them like the right way. Or maybe you need to like check your work to make sure you're doing it the right way or something.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I don't check my work. And I was always the person in class that like, they'd be like, oh, like if you have free time, when you hand your test in, you can like sit and read in your seat or whatever. Yeah. And I would always be done first because I just answer and then I'm like, done.
What do we argue about the most?
Oh, that's really easy.
What? What do you think it is? I wonder if we have the same answer.
Can I say 2 things? For me, it's between 2 things.
Yeah.
They're equals. They're equals in this relationship. One would be creative differences when it comes to our business. Like, so for example, I want to post one photo, Shanna doesn't, we argue about it.
But then,
it could be anything.
But I feel like that's how it starts, but then it always turns into like our relationship being like, oh, well, you don't like my creativity or something. Like it becomes more personal because we work and are married to each other.
So that brings me to my second point. Whatever starts off as a business argument never is a business argument. It always turns into either me saying you're not paying enough attention to me, or you saying you're not giving me enough space to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Or me saying, do you hate me? And you saying, no, why would you think that? I'm just working. I feel like these are the only things Shanna and I argue about. It's usually like when I need more attention and she's in the kind of mood where she doesn't want to give attention, and that's fine. We're just like different people, but like it always starts as a business argument and ends in that exact argument. Yeah. So I feel like that's really our only argument. Like earlier in our relationship, there was other arguments we would have, but I feel like all of those have like, I feel like we've gotten better at communicating, so the other things are not an issue. So the only thing that ever is an issue is that, and then we usually make up like a few hours later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think kind of along the same lines, like the thing that we argue about the most is like how we, I guess, approach and handle situations. Like I'm very logical and rational, and I don't really think about my emotions at all or like how someone feels. It's just like not my first instinct. It's like my first instinct is like, oh, well, this makes sense because it's logical. And Gabby's handles things like, oh, well, I feel this way, and like more emotionally. And I think because our initial reactions to things are opposite, it causes us to like argue because I'm like, well, you don't understand me. And she's like, well, you don't understand me. And then kind of flows from there. So I feel like that to me is what you're saying, the core of that problem is we handle things differently.
Like we comprehend and handle things differently, and it's like, if for whatever reason, if we're both bothered by something, then it's an issue. Like if Shanna's unbothered, then she's able to handle my emotional side. Right. And if I'm unbothered, then I don't go into it with emotions and I can handle like the logical thing that Shanna's feeling. But like if we're both upset, then it's like emotions, logic.
Yeah. And I don't think we'll ever like be able to fully fix that because we're just different people, but I think you just work on it and continue to work on it, and then it just gets better.
Yeah, it's good. We challenge each other to think about things differently because we do not think about things the same way, which I think in a lot of situations is actually like a good thing.
What was the last text message I sent you?
I gotta get my phone.
I think what's funny is Gabby and I don't text each other a lot because we're almost always together. So the stuff that we text is like really funny. Like
I want to show the last text.
This morning, I woke up before her and I was looking on Twitter and I saw this video and I sent it to her.
Shanna sent me like, basically like a TikTok. Somebody getting a cat bouquet for Valentine's Day. Beautiful, yeah.
When she was asleep, as if she was awake, I just would have showed her that, but she wasn't, so I texted it to her.
The first thing I saw when I woke up in my dream.
And then
it says cat bouquet.
And then right before that, like yesterday, like we did laundry and I like went to the car and like pulled out in front so that Gabby could like come out with the bag. So I said, you can start coming down. And she said, KK. That's like literally, that's like what we text each other about. Who is more patient?
It's a hard one.
I think it depends on the situation.
We're patient in different ways.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm impatient when it comes to like work stuff or like when I really want to do something, because then I'm just like, let's just go, let's do it now. Whatever, but then I think in other situations, like when it's like a high stress situation, like if we're traveling or whatever, then I'm like very patient. I'm like, okay, well, it's fine. Like we'll figure it out, whatever.
Like Shanna's patient in times of actual turmoil. Like if there's an actual stressful situation, then Shanna's patient. But like in everyday life, I think I'm more patient.
Yeah.
Because like if we're waiting at a restaurant and like we're waiting for the bill and it's taking forever, that's when you become impatient.
Like, let's go.
But I can be just like chilling. I only get impatient when I can feel that you're getting like stressed out about it. But like if like the whole world were to crumble and we were stuck at an airport with no flights, Shanna would be the patient one. I would be freaking out.
Okay, this is the age-old question in our relationship. Who takes longer to get ready? We'll never agree on this.
We will never agree. We will never agree. Like we need to time ourselves every day for like 2 months for it to be a realistic answer.
I think it's Gabby.
It's you.
Hold on, there's a siren. Siren break over. Okay.
Siren break over.
So if Gabby doesn't have to do her hair, then it takes me longer to get ready because I almost always have to style my hair because my hair doesn't dry naturally like how I like it. So I either have to like curl it or straighten it or like do something to it basically. And in that situation, I think I take longer. However, Gabby does get really stressed about what to wear. And I feel like when I get stressed about what to wear, that's way less than you do. And when you're stressed about what to wear, then you take longer.
Okay. Fair, but I'm pretty convinced that you take longer.
Today, I was ready before you.
Barely, it was almost the same time.
No, but I was ready before you.
You blew your whole head out.
No, I didn't. I just straightened my hair.
Okay, whatever. Anyway,
but I was ready before you.
Today you were ready before me, barely, by like a few minutes. I decided to braid and put my hair back.
Right,
so I
but
actually
I'm
did
saying, so I don't know. Who's grumpier in the morning?
I'm grumpier. I'm much grumpier.
100%.
I'm not a morning person.
I am a morning person. If we have to wake up at like 4 a.m. for a flight or something, I'm fine. Like I'll wake up, I'll be normal, whatever. Gabby's like,
yeah, I'm not fine. I'm a nightmare. I really am a nightmare. I annoy myself, but I just can't. I can't help it. I'm not a morning person. Like to me, morning starts at 10 a.m.
Who's more stubborn?
You.
Me, definitely me. I'm a Taurus. That's literally what we're known for, okay? We're stubborn. I'm stubborn about everything. I'm always right. The end. There's nothing else to say. Period. End of story. I think there's only a few more that would make sense for us.
These are fun. I like them.
Some of these are like, it's like, what shoe size do I wear? I guess it's like if you have a husband, like he doesn't know, but like we obviously know what shoe size each other wears.
We're the same shoe size, so
like, what's my favorite sports team? Like that's like, oh my God, I'm a girl and I don't know sports, but like
Miami Dolphins.
We know.
Oh, like they're thinking if you're a wife, you do not know your husband's sports team.
Yeah.
But like also you still would because like how do you not know?
Yeah. Like how long have we been together? Like obviously. I know, but it's just like, do they think that like their husband doesn't know this?
Oh
like,
my God, imagine if you get the question, how long have we been together? And you don't know the answer, you're getting a divorce. Like I don't, you're in so much trouble, you're buying your wife a vacation.
What pisses the other one off? Doesn't have to be about each other, it could just be like in general. I know Gabby's.
I have so many.
Gabby's is when people are late.
Oh yeah, I really hate that. It really irks me.
I mean, I'm sure there's multiple things, but the one thing that comes to mind is like Gabby and I, both of us are very timely. Like we're actually pretty much early to like everything. But if we're meeting someone and they're late, we're like, especially Gabby is like, cannot handle it.
I can't handle it. Even though I've decided as an adult to give people a 15-minute grace period, I will be annoyed in that period of time, but I will let it go. But once you hit 16 minutes,
and she's very like on top of it at the time. Like because we're so on time, like we're usually there before the time that we say we're supposed to be there. And then we're there, and then when it hits like the actual time, we're like, where are they?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you? Shanna does not like when she gets asked a million questions. She hates getting asked a lot of questions. That seems like a weird thing, but it's just like a uniquely you thing. Like if I am like, oh my gosh, Shanna, what do you want to do today? And she answers, and I'm like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? And then she answers, and then I'm like, oh, like what do you want to eat? She's like, stop asking me questions. Like literally, stop asking me questions. So, and Shanna in those situations will say like, don't ask me any questions today. Don't ask me a single question, nothing. And then I like have to try and think of everything in non-question form. And you do that to other people too sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
So I feel like you hate just being bombarded with questions.
I agree, but I think for me, it's less that people are asking me questions, but more like when someone asks me a question and I answer, I feel like that's my answer and like I've given it. But then when people continue to ask me questions around the same topic when I've already given an answer, I think that's more of like what bothers me. It's not like you can't ask me questions. It's just like, I feel like I've answered it already. Great, let's move on. And now everyone's still like asking things related to the thing. And I'm like, but I already answered that. I don't like repeating myself.
See, I'm right. That pisses her off.
Yeah.
See, got it.
There you go.
It finally clicked. I was like under pressure trying to think of what you don't like. And I was like, oh yeah, it's the questions.
Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for the wife tag. That was really fun. I love it. I love doing these kinds of videos.
It's fun to just like answer questions about yourselves. And even like you see, like we've been together 8 years. Once in a while, we're like, what does piss you off?
I feel like I want to go back and watch a girlfriend tag now and see like if there was some similar questions and see if our answers are like the same now as they were like back then. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
But also like it is like things change over time. I love answering these kind of questions. If you have other questions like this for us, you should ask us and maybe one day we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Because we've only been wives for a year, you know?
Gotta keep it up.
Gotta keep it fresh. Gotta keep it going.
But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon with another video. Bye.